What's going on, YouTube? In today's video, we are going to be restoring and reupholstering this Lucara steering wheel that I got for the Volvo 240. It shouldn't be too difficult. I've never reupholstered a steering wheel before. I have reupholstered some things, not really anything like a steering wheel, so we'll see how that goes. And then I'm gonna try to refinish the aluminum face. I don't know how hard that's gonna be. I'm just gonna use sandpaper. It shouldn't take too long. If you guys are new to the channel, consider subscribing, like the video, leave a comment. And I got the steering wheel from an Instagram account called @VolvoPartsCo. He has done nothing but help me source a few different things, actually, stuff for my turbo build. I've got the steering wheel from him, miscellaneous interior pieces. He's a really cool dude. So if you guys need anything, I'll leave his Instagram both on the screen and in the description. Definitely go check him out, because I know you need something for your car. I know some plastic bit broke or something's crusty, so go ask him. He might have it. First thing I'm going to do is cut off the existing leather, and then we're going to start refinishing the aluminum. We are going to save the leather and try to cut it off as nicely as possible so that we can later use it as a template for either Alcantara or some new leather. I haven't quite decided what material we're going to use yet, but yeah, let's start doing that. So my steering wheel leather is off. I have it right here. So I need some new material. Haven't figured out exactly what I'm gonna do for the material, which is why for tonight we're just gonna be doing the aluminum. Tomorrow, or whenever I pick up the camera in 30 seconds, we'll do the leather. Only finding is that someone did some bunk ass, which is why I think it was reupholstered, some bunk ass foam filling with like a little crack that was in there, but I'm just gonna leave it. I mean, it's not causing any problems, and it's nice. Like, it's foam, it's fine. It's gonna be wrapped, it's gonna be covered. I didn't even notice it when that was on. So yeah, next thing we're gonna do is get into restoring this aluminum face, because it's a little bit disgusting. So I'm now down in the basement, and all we're gonna do to restore this aluminum wheel is use some sandpaper, because I am a normal person who doesn't have crazy polishing compounds and super tons of grit sandpaper. I have a bunch of 2000 grit, 400 grit, and I have a bunch of 220 grit, which is over there. And that's all I'm gonna use. I did a small bit on the back, which looks just like this. If I can get the camera to focus, that'd be nice. It isn't perfect by any means, but I just used those grits from lowest grit to highest grit. I actually did 120 first. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it looks way better. So I'm done doing my second little test bit on the back, and the camera's really struggling to pick it up, but it looks so much better. That's kind of what we were working with before, and the front is even worse. And then off to the right here, looking significantly better. Does it look perfect? No, but it looks much better, and I'm extremely happy with it. It's just the steering wheel, not even the part you're gonna be touching anyways. So yeah, I'm going to really quickly do the back, just because I'm a slight perfectionist and it would bother me if I didn't. And then we'll move on to the front. I'll do a much more thorough walkthrough, because obviously you're looking at the front. But yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick on time lapse, and I'll catch back up with you when I'm done with it. I'm gonna say you got your fill of time lapsing, slightly repetitive, somewhat satisfying though. But yeah, the back side looks amazing. For comparison, here is the front. This has a hard time. Oh, there we go. There's a good angle. Yeah, looks absolutely disgusting. The metal's just not happy. And yeah, so I'm gonna do this exact same process I did on the back. 220 grit, then 400 grit, and then 2000 grit is what I did. Do the same thing on the front, just take a little bit more time doing it. I spent a lot of time doing the back, but I'm just gonna spend a little bit more time on the front, obviously, because it is the front. So yeah, this looks amazing. And I'm gonna do that, no time lapse. I think you understand how this works. Front is looking extremely spicy. Again, not perfect, but significantly better than before. If you need to quickly refinish any type of aluminum metals or anything of the sort, just a little bit of sandpaper, work your way up the grit. If you have more grits, use them. If you have higher grits and you want a shinier finish, use them. I'm actually not mad about the satin-ish finish. I didn't want it to be super chromy, so this worked perfectly for me. I'll pick up the camera once I have some new material for this steering wheel. So I'm back and it's another beautiful day. I got 2 of these sheets of leather. They were pretty cheap. I just got them at a local craft store. It's genuine leather. It kind of feels a little bit suede-y. It's like soft like that. So hopefully these will work. I think I'm gonna cut them each into, we'll have a total of 4 strips, both into 2 strips, and then I'll sew them end to end. Get them all in a long strip like this piece from our old steering wheel, cut it to width, and then I think it's just going to be a game of cut a little bit more until it's tight around the rim, and then punch some holes and sew it through. I honestly am not super experienced in doing this, so I'm not going to explicitly tell you what to do now. I think I'm just going to do it on time lapse and then give you tips and anything I can do to help if you were to do this on your own after. But yeah, this shouldn't be too difficult. We'll see. This was like 10 bucks. I got scissors, I got a pencil, straight edge, got a knife, the wheel obviously, and then the original cover. So I'm gonna get started and I'll let you guys know what it looks like when I'm done.
This is a Ryan Little production.
So I've gotten to a good stopping point where I can show you what I've done thus far. I first started off by taking the 2 pieces and I cut them into 3 5/8 strips, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and then I don't know any sewing terms. I butt sewed them together. I'm gonna call it butt sewing. It kind of seems like that's what it is. So basically you lay 2 of them flat on top of each other, stitch it. I poked holes in it with a fork so they were evenly spaced. And then just sewed it back and forth, I think like 2.5 times, stop somewhere in the middle. And then once you unfold that stitch you did, you get this nice line. This one's slightly not as pretty as this first one that I did. So, but yeah, next thing I have to do is once I have that long strip, I'm gonna go along the entire edge on both sides, and I'm going to poke a bunch of holes and run another stitch, I guess, along the whole thing, and then we're going to use those threads on either side to tie it back in around the wheel. I'll just show you. It's nothing too crazy. This has been super easy. It takes like a couple hours and my hands are incredibly tired, but you know, I just put on some music, chill out, and watching YouTube. So yeah, definitely something you can do at home. I literally have been using this fork, a pencil, scissors, and like some really cheap thread I found in this box. So yeah, definitely something anyone can do if you have the patience for it. But yeah, I'll pick up the camera again once I'm done. I'll probably connect these 2 first and then do this thing, and I'll show you what we end up doing. So this is where I'm at as of current. I bought this pretty blue string. I got 2 colors. I got like a dark blue and a light blue that I'm gonna use. These might be the same ones. I got a dark blue and a light blue to use. Make it look a little bit nicer, a little bit cooler. But I did what I was gonna do. I poked a bunch of holes all the way through. They're about a centimeter apart each. I ran one going all the way down, and I'm now working on going back across, so that way there's a stitch for every single hole. Yeah, it takes a while, but I've actually gotten to a pretty good rhythm of doing this, and I'm moving at a pretty good pace. Before, it took me like 10 minutes to do one of these quarters. Now I'm pretty much knocking out this whole strip in about 2 or 3, maybe 4 minutes. So yeah, it's looking great. I'm gonna go back, do this whole side and finish this off, and then do the exact same process on this side. The only other thing I want to say is I bought some super glue, and I put a little dab on the bottom side, kind of where the knots are on the left end and the right end, and then I put a little bit of super glue just on the leather on this little end right there on the back side, just so that way these didn't come apart at all, because the stitch wasn't perfectly all the way. So a little bit of super glue, something you need. The string was $2, I believe. Super glue was like $5, I think it was $4 something cents, and then the leather I think was 20 bucks. So this is pretty good, and I don't think I'm gonna be needing anything else. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna roll the time lapse, and once it's done and I butt the two ends together, we will wrap it, or start wrapping it on the wheel. So I set up my camera to do time lapse, and I didn't actually press record. So I ended up finishing all the blue stitching, same process as what I did before. Just went all the way down and back, super glue on all the little seams, and then I connected it to make a loop. Yeah, I just butted the last end together. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was this one. But yeah, so now I'm gonna try to stretch this over the steering wheel, and then I will actually record me stitching it around the wheel, so that way it actually holds into place tightly. Fingers crossed that worked. Everything thus far has been pretty simple. Hoping this next bit doesn't give me any issues, otherwise that's just gonna be annoying. So I'm gonna stretch that on there, and hopefully it's good. It took forever, but it looks really, really, really nice. So I've just wrapped up the wheel. This thing is looking amazing. The aluminum finish on the face looks phenomenal, and the stitching went surprisingly smoothly. A small few issues I had with it. First bit, one of the threads broke at the bottom, and I kind of messed it up, so it doesn't look great, but it's very strong and not going anywhere. For the most part, I mean, the stitching is pretty even all through the parts that were really good. Right here it looks nice, not perfectly even, but again, looks really, really, really nice. The top also looking amazing. The only other problem I had was on this side right here. One of the stitches broke. When I was pulling the material over the wheel, it just had too much tension and it snapped, but that was fine. I ended up pulling it tight. So this wheel is looking amazing. All said and done, I think I am $90 into this wheel. So 90 bucks, that includes, I think I paid just for the wheel, I paid about $50 or $60. Sandpaper is about $5, string was $2, the leather was $20. So this thing is looking awesome. I'm super proud of how it turned out. And yeah. So that's gonna be today's video. The wheel is all done, looking nice, ready to go back in the car. Before that, we have one more thing to do, which is gonna be the next video. Might have something to do with this little guy right here that has a small twist to it. But yeah, I'm really proud of how this turned out. Shows that you don't need to spend $400 or $500 on a Momo wheel. You can get nice quality results if you just put a little bit of elbow grease in, take a little bit of time, and something to be proud of that you stitch your own and refurbish your own wheel. Yeah, comment on the video, something I could have done better, something you saw, something you noticed, something you want to see in the future. Like the video, really helps get my video out there, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, and I will see you in the next video.